we went to the auto show again. We mentioned this at the beginning of the program, and
Good foreshadowing there.
the CIAS, the Canadian International Auto Show, they were gracious enough.
Did you just call it IAE? Is that your
No,
Spanish kicking in?
No, maybe
It's a CIAS.
CIAS.
Yeah.
Jesus.
You're like CIAS.
Jesus.
Maybe it was a bit of my Spanish kicking in.
I think so.
So they were gracious enough to have us over as a guest in the media capacity. I think
Still makes me laugh.
it was,
But they let us in and fed us breakfast and lunch.
No, so sweet of them.
it's very nice of them.
Was it good? The food?
The lunch
The
was
food was kick-ass, man. The
Oh.
lunch was special.
pretty good, man.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Some fancy shit.
I was sick, so I don't think I appreciated it as much as I could have or should have. But no, it was pretty cool. It was
Oh man,
pretty
bangers and mash, chicken, butter chicken, naan bread.
Oh
No,
wow.
Two different kinds
that doesn't
of-
even come close to so.
Two different
fish and
kinds of mini
chips,
salad with like blackberries and some sort of like
Oh, they
arugula
really
and
treated you
parsley
well.
and shit.
Yeah, it was
and-
thanks. Honestly, Canadian
you very
International
much.
Auto Show. They did a good job putting the
fish,
show together.
fish and chips, gravy, different types of gravy.
Mm.
A strawberry. What was that strawberry thing? That was
I
pretty
have no
fucking good.
idea.
It's some sort of like
Oh yeah, the dessert looked.
strawberry dessert thing was amazing. Ugh.
Wow. I'm jealous.
Anyways,
Um,
we talked to some kick-ass people though.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. We actually, I think we were the only people there that that were after strictly and only F1 stuff.
I think you're the only people at all that were after any F1 stuff at all.
At all, yeah.
Yeah, that's
This is what we do,
Yeah.
right?
Oh,
like to the point of being annoying. Definitely.
we mentioned it to these guys, the circuit chasers, if they're listening. We met these other guys that have this motorsport blog, or like I think just in general car news blog, and they kind of asked us like, yeah, what are you guys basically?
What do you do?
What are you doing here? What do you got there? And we said, oh yeah, we do F1 stuff, and they're like, oh, just F1. Yeah, just F1, and we were, and that was pretty much our approach to the whole thing. So we didn't stick around for like their big like media releases of that most car companies did.
Right.
We just went there to try to ask people about F1. So the first person that we actually got a chance to talk to, and actually like gave us the chance to talk to them, was Jerry Chenkin. He's president and CEO of Honda Canada.
Oh wow. Yeah.
And if you want to play the video, sorry, what is it?
Before you do, pause this for 1 second. Pause this for 1 second. Just for context, like while he was talking, okay, listen to this. Those few seconds. Did you hear that? Before us, while we just sort of had the recorder going,
Yeah.
in preparation, his media lady was asking us, "Oh, you want to ask him something next?" That was the dude in the background saying, "Listen one more time." He was live on global television behind us, which is one of the like the NBC of Canada. And then we just kind of like forced our way in there and asked him this.
The business in Canada and around the world is undeniable. Honda's doing a great job. My friend here, he's owned 7 of your cars.
Thank you.
Already.
Eight. Actually, eight. Seven Civics.
But when it's coming to the current campaign in Formula One, it's not going that great. Can we look forward to 2016 as a year that Honda's going to turn things around?
I have the same amount of knowledge as you do on that subject because I was very frustrated last year along with everybody else. I think the problem last year was people's expectations were much higher than reality. The time that they had to develop the new engine and working with McLaren was a very, very short time frame where other teams have had many, many years to develop their engine and chassis combinations. So I think each year you're going to see improvement. when will we be on the podium? The sooner the better, as far as I'm concerned, because I'm an F1 fan.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Turbo.
Hey, Jared.
That was a good answer.
Jared Shankin, yeah, a pretty nice guy. He didn't say anything that we didn't know or would have come to expect from anybody at Honda. Really, at this point, we didn't know that working with the Brits was gonna be a pain in the ass. We didn't know Ron Dennis was gonna treat us like that. But we actually like overall kind of it didn't go as we planned, but we'll keep it going. Nothing certain. I think they probably like have been told to stay away from even predicting because look at what happened.
All right. Oh, don't worry. We'll be on top of the podium by the end of the year. We'll get some podiums. Don't worry.
Jesus.
It was funny though. A lot of people just didn't want to talk about F1 but we kind of had to like bring it up to them. Obviously, one of the manufacturers that really had no problem talking about F1 was Mercedes.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. They talked to us like, yes.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Who are you guys?
Yeah.
Who are you guys? What do you? Anything you want to know?
All right, here we go.
My name is Javier
Full
from
screen it.
Auto Fever.
We own this.
We just want to know because there's been a couple press releases that we've read saying that the technology from the current very successful F1 program could translate to some of the road cars sooner than we might expect. Is that something that is in one of these cars yet to be announced, or?
It's not like actually transferred directly into the vehicles, but all the research and the learnings that come from F1 are, kind of incorporated into the development of these vehicles. So it's not as integral as like we have this in our Formula One car, therefore you will find it in our Mercedes-Benz. So it's kind of like a research basically. Like it's sort of a pool of like.
So in terms of the hybrid technology and stuff like that?
Yeah. So everything kind of stems from there, and then you kind of see it trickle down slowly but surely in all the cars.
Right on.
Yeah. So it's not like, dead like.
Lewis is gonna win this year, though, right?
I hope so.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
No problem.
She doesn't know who Lewis is. But before you close this,
This
I
fucking
think
car.
that car, and I think an actual legitimate question, seeing behind it. See, they got 3 cars under tarps.
Definitely Formula 1
Right?
cars.
Those were new car unveilings. Could be anything.
Oh, wow.
Could be anything under there, right?
What I got from that is that basically like Mercedes are going around this. Okay. The problem is that these manufacturers, they wouldn't be spending the hundreds of millions of dollars that they are on their F1 program all willy-nilly to develop the technology if they didn't see, like if they couldn't justify it to their bosses and say like, hey, listen, some of this technology is eventually going to make it to the road cars.
Right.
But whereas before, I think this is actually true of the day, true of the era that we live in right now, is that whereas before, what you would do is, as a team in the 70s and 80s and early 90s, as a manufacturer team, you would come to F1 and to develop, say, like a particular spring or like a particular actual bit of technology, like ABS brakes or traction control or adaptive suspension, things like that. And then you develop it in F1 and bring basically that exact same concept and translate it into the car. Now, because everything has become so like deep and attention to detail, and one person's job in Mercedes could be to actually work on just this one little corner of the engine, because that is just the way the world works right now. It could be that maybe like it won't be like a part that is in an F1 car would translate to a part in a car, but the same amount of energy and resources and the same calculations that the guy, the same mathematical models that they built to arrive to that solution in F1 could then be ported and used to make something for a car.
Sorry. Yeah, you weren't here last week, but I think it was Mercedes said they've reached 48% thermal efficiency.
That's amazing.
That's insane. They said something like 18% in the V8 days. Yeah, they've more than doubled thermal efficiency, 2.5 times.
And
in the past 3 years.
to do that when it comes to things like an actual internal combustion engine, it's super hard to do. It's actually like a scientific achievement to be able to like
The timing of everything is so tight.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's a brilliant piece of engineering, but
And the billions of hertz to make that happen.
you won't find like the same gasket, for example, in your road car. It would be pointless to even think of it that way.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? My view on this is that like probably in the 70s, 80s, and even 90s, where like it was very likely that these sort of efficiencies from F1 would translate into cars of that era. But like personally, what I'm seeing is like there's a huge push for electric cars, right? There's a huge push for all these things, and it's more likely that they'll get more innovation from Formula E than they would Formula 1.
You know what?
But that's just
I would have thought that way too. Honestly, to be honest, I would have thought that way as well. But
Tesla would beg to differ.
we did okay.
Okay. Preface.
This is all off the record.
off the record.
This person, possibly man or woman, who
May or may not have been associated.
may or may not have worked for Tesla, maybe or maybe not at a very high level, who might have been at the auto show, talk to us off the record. We asked him about Formula E and a robo race, which
The self-driving car.
Right.
Actually, another thing that we noticed, like I remember, like you and I were like, you know what's huge this year? Self-driving cars. Pretty much any big brand out there had like their own self-driving car technology.
fuck
like
out.
But yeah.
all
Anyway,
those
but
Mercedeses had the cameras. those Teslas, it's not an advertisement, but they have a new summon feature, the Tesla owner's app. You go boop, summon when you wake up in the morning,
Yeah.
and your car will open your garage, back itself into the driveway, close the garage,
started
warm itself up to whatever temperature you prefer, and be like, "Oh, good morning, Michael. Where are we going this morning?" And start driving you there. It doesn't speak to you, but it summons itself out of the garage.
Could.
Yeah. You get home, you jump out in the driveway and press place, and you park, goes in your garage, close the door by itself.
Jesus Christ.
We asked him about Formula E.
He said it's still, even to this day, too restrictive.
To be honest,
Well,
honest
Formula
though,
E
it
is
seemed
too
like he
restrictive.
didn't know what he was really talking about as far as Formula E, because it's more open than he suggested that it was. Oh, they all have the same drivetrain and this and this and this. There's teams with 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 gears, and there's
Yeah,
teams
but
with 1 and 2
Batteries are
motors.
like to a certain degree standardized, which is really one thing.
They are. The weight is,
Yeah.
I don't know. Tesla unofficially doesn't feel that Robo Race or Formula E would benefit them at this point, I guess.
Wow.
But they have an opinion
But
about
that's
it.
because
and
of
I
the
think-
sport then.
No, but listen, crucially, what this person may or may not have said is that if they were ever gonna be in Formula E or road race or anything, it would be there to win it and to win it all.
Right.
Remember he said
Yeah.
Oh.
That's
Well, yeah,
That's
but
what I
yeah.
said to Jay in the after before we actually talked. Before we actually talked to Tesla, I said like it would kind of make sense like a company in their position.
Yeah.
They're not just competing; like they almost have to win.
Yeah.
With the way like
Yeah.
the media and stuff is going. Unfortunately, because he asked that, like it's gotta be like real. But he gave us like I got like 8 minutes of one-on-one with this guy.
Oh, wow.
Well,
Yeah.
that's what I recorded of the two of us just asking him questions, man. That Model X, the P90D, if you get a chance to sit in one of those cars, do it, man. It's
Yeah.
badass. In the Model X, the SUV, the glass comes back behind your head. Like if you're in the driver's seat,
Wow.
you have to tilt your head backwards to see the end of the windshield.
Good God.
so you
cool,
can
man.
see oncoming traffic from up.
Well, absolutely. Yeah.
You seen the gull
Well,
wing
because
doors?
this is where the flying cars will come in, right?
Right.
Just from the top.
The Falcon doors?
We're offline, it seems. Like we're offline right now. Go back off.
Offline.
Yeah.
No, we're online.
Oh, we're back. We're back.
Oh my God. Sorry, do we want to play that last clip from Alfa Romeo?
Alfa Romeo.
This is Reed Bigland. He's he's the chief of Alfa in North America.
Pause for a sec.
Yeah, he's the chief of Alfa in North America. He's a chief of Fiat Chrysler in Canada. I don't know. He's a bunch of he works closely with Sergio Marchionne.
To preface this was more or less right after they just unveiled this car. Like, it was covered up when we first went there, and we talked to the media person and we said, "Hey, is there anybody we could ask a question? We'd like to ask a question." And the guy's like, "Well, our presentation is going to be in about an hour and a half. Nobody's here right now that could answer it. What are you asking about?" And we said, "Oh, we wanted to ask you guys something about Alfa Romeo and Formula One. This is like the front media guy." And he's like, "I don't know if this is the time or place. This is the event. We could answer anything about Formula One. This is about the Giulia."
Anybody that we talk, actually, and then we can even we then try to like go to like the bigger company, Fiat Chrysler Automotive, or Fiat Chrysler Automobiles is the umbrella company that owns Alfa Romeo and until recently Ferrari.
Yeah.
Anyway, Sergio Marchionne is the CEO of that. Sergio Marchionne being chairman of Ferrari.
Yeah.
As soon as to anybody that we spoke in the whole organization, as soon as we mentioned anything, as soon as you said Formula One, it's like we were like dropping like it's like opening one of those like dragon fruits. Must be like it's like
No, not a dragon fruit.
Or durian.
The durian. Yeah, those are illegal in public transit in a lot of countries in Southeast Asia.
Yeah, exactly. It must have been. It's like as soon as we said
I've yet
Formula
to have
One,
the pleasure of
everybody was
tasting
like, no.
one.
Like it's like they didn't even have to think about it. Like the official line was no Formula One. No.
Yeah, the guy's like, there's nobody here that can. We're not considering that type of question today. This is about the Giulia.
Oh no! But that leads me to think that there's something going on with them. Then that would be.
It was super suspicious.
Yeah, they're trying to sell that $50,000 car behind that guy, right?
Sure.
That's all that's going.
No, but they also like it would look like a directive, man. They look like they just were told if anybody. They were probably told like it's probably not gonna happen.
Yeah.
But if somebody comes up to you and asking anything about F1, shush.
So the Honda interview we followed after Global News Live. The Alfa Romeo interview, if you can see this photograph, is a woman from Naked News Canada.
Oh, wicked.
I can get this a little closer.
She's not naked.
No, she wasn't naked, but she's from the news show where they get like the anchors they're like, "Oh, today Vladimir Putin was blah blah blah," and then taking off their clothes while they. Yeah, that's who we followed anyway. For more context.
So anyway, so whatever. At the end, like we did the walk around, came back an hour later after they did their unveiling and whatever. And this guy, Reed Bigland, was just answering quick questions from the media here and there, and we managed to squeeze in there. He didn't know what we were gonna ask him for, and if you actually watch the footage for a second there, when he realizes that we're actually not super professional and are filming him out of a smartphone, he kind of his expression kind of changes. But anyway,
pay attention to when his eyes lock with the camera.
On Alfa's return to Formula One, because there had been some speculation about that, and Sergio Marchionne had made some comments. Is there any hope for us racing fans to see the Alfa badge in a car?
You see the Alfa badge right now
on the
Ferrari car. We got the Alfa badge on the Ferrari car. For right now, that's about as close as we're going to get right now in Formula One. Is we got the Alfa badge, as you guys have correctly seen, on our Ferrari Formula One cars. But as far as Alfa getting into Formula One, certainly nothing to announce right now.
2017.
I think we'll focus in on getting the car launched right now, and then we'll see what happens. But as you guys are well aware, if you're familiar with Alfa, certainly racing is embedded in the Alfa DNA. Yeah. Right now, let's get the Giulia in market, and then we got a couple of other cars behind that.
Fantastic, thank you.
That was actually the first time I realized it was called the Julienne.
Julia.
He just said Julienne.
It's called the Julia, man. You can
play
look it
back.
No, he said the Julian.
dude.
He said Julian.
He did.
Play back.
He did. No, he did. But
he
he
might
probably
have
just
said
fucked
it,
up.
but the car is called Julia.
All right, well,
He was just thrown off by your question, guys.
Yeah.
That's just fucking grade A journalism right there.
that naked news chick, just before we asked him a question, she was like, "Oh, I wish my name was Julia."
You could change it, you know.
Yeah. The beauty of a car, though, no, it does look fantastic, but
it looks
it's just a
badass.
normal car. It's no Model X.
We also talked to Infiniti.
That guy knew very little of what he was talking about, but I'm glad that he actually he put an effort. He knew. Okay, what is it that you asked him about?
I didn't even bother to edit down the video, but I asked him about more or less the difference between the Red Bull partnership and the Renault partnership that they just announced. And the guy was sick, like he was coughing, and he's trying to save his voice for his TV announcement. Basically, he said his point was the Red Bull partnership, whatever sponsorship, was about selling soft drinks, selling Infinitis, and it's a title only. Whereas the Renault sponsorship is that Infiniti will be a real technical partner and working on the ERS system and actually contributing to the Renault motor instead of just having a name on the car.
No, actually, so I think that what
like
this
a
means
real technical partnership.
But instead of actually putting using like they did with Red Bull, using Red Bull to put the name Infiniti on it instead of Renault, for example, because Infiniti is more of a global brand, they're actually gonna try to get something out of it and maybe send one of the guys from Japan, from Nissan, because Nissan is Infiniti is basically Nissan, right? So bringing one of the guys or a team from Japan at least, or having the people in Japan working alongside the people in England to try to devise some of the electronics. I think that that's not an altogether lost cause. I think that they could actually, they're approaching it now finally the way that Mercedes has been approaching it. Use their big muscle, the big infrastructure that they already have in place to actually make a difference. Let's go racing, guys.
I think it's a slightly oh my throat. A slightly different angle on the same model. So Mercedes has 1,300 people working on these cars. There's an article from Bitibul 2 days ago, a quote saying, Renault plans to recruit 160 staff over the next 2 years. But we saw with how Ferrari pinched some people from Mercedes, there's the gardening period.
Yeah.
They send them out to do nothing for half a year to a year, depending on their contract. They might have to sit at home for half a year so that whatever they might bring as far as knowledge of whatever,
it's not fresh.
It's not as relevant.
Right.
So, basically that's Renault's warning. Don't expect us to be super, super competitive this year. But a workaround for them is being, outsource their ERS to Infiniti, which through Nissan, Renault and Nissan actually own each other.
There's a deep partnership.
40 to 50% of each other they own.
Yeah.
Right? So you take the Infiniti brand on the Nissan name, take their engineers, physical engineers, have them work on a part of the engine, the ERS.
Yeah.
And you don't have to worry so much about your engineers and can have them focus on the internal combustion part. Right?
That's it. Yeah,
I think that's what they're doing.
Yeah, utilizing the resources that are at your disposal, actually doing it, making the F1 program a relevant thing, not just a thing that you can just be like, oh, here's the F1 program, as in terms of a big company like the Renault Nissan partnership. Not just have the F1 program there just sitting as an entry on a ledger. Actually make it a program that you can develop engineering all throughout your company. If you have the resources and the manpower and the people, why not?
So yeah, you look at Mercedes has 1,300 people working on their F1 cars. Renault is hoping to recruit in the next 2 years 160. It's 14 or 15%. Mercedes
Ferrari and the Fiat Chrysler Group in general, they have a huge chunk of people.
Right.
Yeah.
That number for Mercedes is solid though, right? That's a lot of people. Expect Ferrari has probably close. 1,300 people.
At their disposal, at least. Not necessarily linked with the Ferrari works team, but at their disposal in some way.
My point, anyways, what the Infiniti guy said is, we are the ERS partner. We're going to work on the electrical components, strengthens them only hiring 160 people over the next 2 years, right?
Yeah.
If they're focused on the internal combustion part. I don't know. It's interesting.
One other thing sorry, are you done with it?
No, that's it.
I guess another couple of things that we did hear from people were the VW as
Volkswagen.
All throughout the word was that we're too busy with our own shit right now.
We got a bunch of shit on our plate.
we definitely do. If
lawsuits.
Yeah. If actually, you know what, the spokesperson for Volkswagen Canada, he actually he talked to us more than anybody else.
He almost gave us a full 10 minutes nonstop of talk.
Yeah.
To the point where I was like, all right, are you done, man?
It's we're good.
8 minutes and 41 seconds.
Wow.
Yeah.
But he was he's a very nice guy, a very nice gentleman. I really liked talking to him.
Unfortunately,
Thomas Tetzlaff.
Yeah.
That's his name.
None of it was really worth us playing here. Anyways, VW is focused on rally racing.
They're gonna stick with that. They're not gonna shut. I guess it's positive. They're not gonna shut down their motorsport program. They see some value still to their rally program because they're winning, and it's probably self-sufficient enough. And they are actually using directly, one-to-one, some of the technology, some of it, or at least in the same vein, from rally in the road cars. So they're still doing that. That's what he claims.
He said something like, when you jump one of these rally Jettas, that car weighs 3,500 pounds, and you're putting whatever is 2,600 Newton meters into the springs. He's like, this road car right here that you can drive, this matches that. So I was like, so you're saying you can jump this car in the air?
Immediately he was like, no.
He was like, oh, I don't know. You wouldn't want to jump it, but You tried to sell this red, you take your kids to soccer car. As the WRC champion that you can fly it through the air. Jump a little creek or whatever and almost run over some Scandinavians.
What he said, I get what he was trying to say though, right? he meant that there was still some things that were directly applicable that they were still getting from the WRC program, and that's hard to contest with because it's true. It could be 100% true, right?
What he tried to say is that they're putting. He's like, something like Formula One budget is in the 300-400 millions a year for a team, whereas we put something like maybe 20% of that into our WRC thing, and we kicked Subaru's ass, and we've been the champion. He's like, the other teams show up with one truck, maybe two trucks. We show up with a mini village. So I guess they realized they had no chance in F1, especially with the PR position.
Yeah,
and put a double any team's budget into WRC and just kick that ass instead.
Yeah, so
it's working for them.
Yeah, and they said, and he also said hey, listen, and the other thing is if we were ever to do it, it wouldn't be he flat out said it wouldn't be VW. He said it wouldn't be VW. It wouldn't make sense with the stuff that we're trying to sell. He was basically it just wouldn't fit the brand profile.
Right.
So if we ever were gonna do it, it would have to be one of the sub brands.
Right.
Audi, Lamborghini.
Right.
It would
make more sense.
Right.
Yeah.
Right now they don't have the money though because they're busy paying a bunch of other shit down. Interesting though is that he actually felt the need to say this multiple times. Would we consider it down the line? Once we get everything cleared out, he's not gonna rule it out.
The big news when they announced it was that they were considering it hard.
Yeah.
Right. This is not appropriate for the podcast, but obviously, I can show you. This I regretted not showing him this, This is the VW rally team from the 80s.
Beautiful.
For the listeners, it's a chick with her tits hanging out, stepping out of a VW with some navigation clipboard for a rally race.
Navigation.
Yeah, her driver
Air
also
quotes.
has her tits hanging out. Yeah, we had a lot of fun at the auto show though. Thanks
Yeah.
for the passes.
The auto show was cool. I think it's still going on. If you're thinking of going out to the Toronto Auto Show, I actually had a lot of fun there. Maybe more than I thought I was going to.
I think it's bullshit. Mike wasn't granted one,
Yeah.
and the guy in charge of that didn't answer my phone call when I tried to get an extra.
Well, he's an asshole. Just
Well,
kidding.
I
We
think
love you.
maybe we
Sorry,
were just
guy.
like pushing it in the timelines. But next year
Sorry, guy.
we'll make sure we get organized.
Yeah. Any other show, I'm always down for.
Nice.
Keep it steamrolling.
Yeah, let's get it. So we definitely promise we're gonna go out of our way to get more of this interviews and stuff, and we have an amazing year to come. We can't wait. We're super pumped for this.
This fucking testing 4 days.
Lots of stuff to be learned then,
Albert Park, 32 days, man.
and at some point in
32
between.
days, first
And at
practice.
some point in between, we're probably gonna get to talk to our buddy Toby from
Mr.
AMUS.
Mr. Toby Chrono.
You know what
Is that
tune? You know what tune I'd like to see to hear back again?
Oh, beautiful. All right, we'll see you guys later.
Peace.
Cheers.